All right, look at this cool guy. We're going to use Illustrator to create something like this, and I've decided we're gonna put it in a square shape here, because when we create we're gonna use this in a video game in Unity, and we're gonna make a sprite sheet where I just thought using a perfect square shape would be really good to slice up the sprites in Unity for our animations. I think that might be the simplest way to go. And so you're gonna make we're gonna make a math game, and the character is gonna react positively, like smile or something, or his hat will wiggle or shake or something. He'll get happy when you get it right, and when you get it wrong, maybe he'll frown or something. But we're gonna use Illustrator to just draw this first. Okay, that's gonna take some of you some getting used to for some of you. Earlier in the year, I printed this out, and we were hand drawing, stuff, and this kind of showed you how you could make a character with just easy shapes. And I kind of just used the face as an idea for this. Okay, I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible. So we're gonna, I'll show you how to create from scratch. We'll create a new document. So go File, New, and really, the beauty of Illustrator is it doesn't really matter what size document you have for Illustrator, because it's using vector art. But one thing for sure, we want to make sure we set this to RGB color mode. Okay, and then this is just like a paper size. This would be, if you see in inches, 8.5 by 11. That's a piece of paper. We're just gonna keep this in pixels, keep our mind right. And you can go web if you want. That's kind of the dimensions of how a game layout might look. Okay, and then just make sure it's RGB color mode, hit create. Okay, and then I'm using this tool to zoom in and out. And so here we go. I'm gonna kind of just make that from memory, but I could always go back to this tab here for reference if I want. So for the face, I'm gonna use the rectangle tool. If I hold the mouse down on it, this window pops up and I have an ellipse. So if I don't hold shift, it makes an egg shape, an oval. So if I hold shift, I'm holding shift right now, it'll be a perfect circle. Okay, so I've got my perfect circle, and we'll do the coloring in a second, but I'm going to copy this. You could just draw a second circle if you want, or I'm gonna copy this though, and then I'm gonna go paste in front. I just wanted to teach you that. Paste in front, and that pasted a circle right on top of the other one. And if I click this little arrow here, it'll swap the outline color for the fill color. With this black arrow, I can move this thing. So I'm gonna click it, and let's just drag it up. If you hold shift while you drag things up, it goes perfectly straight. And since I pasted it in front, you'll see the other one, you'll see the other circle behind it. Okay, now let's go back and make this outline here, and so I can see if I click the cover, if I double click the color. Oops, sorry, I didn't want to double click. Just click here, and if I hit this none, it makes it so it's empty inside, so I can kind of see through there. Okay, so what I did before is I just, whoops, I'm sorry. I'm using the up arrow on my keyboard now, and I'm holding shift to make it go a little faster. Okay, and then I just kind of take this white arrow. You can click these individual points. So I'm gonna click this point, and I'm gonna hold shift and bump that up. Okay, and then I believe I grabbed the handles on this one. You can grab handles, which is really kind of neat and convenient. You can click a point, and you can drag these handles to like change the shape and stuff. I'm gonna drag this one right up to the original point. So I've got kind of the front of the hat now. Okay, and then what's cool is you could take this like calligraphy pen here, and you can add points to the curve. So I'm gonna click on the path. You have to go right on the path and click. There's a plus sign. You see a plus sign next to it, and you click, and you can add a point there. And I'm gonna go across the other side and add a point over here as well. Make sure the plus sign shows up. And there we have it. Okay, I'm gonna hold, now I'm just gonna click this middle point and move it down. Okay. Now, if I hit this arrow here, I'm going to swap the fill color, which is empty, with the outline color, which is black. So if I swap them, now it's filled black, outline empty. There's no outline. Okay. If I want to make this hat taller or something, I could just use this tool and stretch it up. Okay. If I want to make it wider, I could do that. If you hold shift, it'll keep it to scale. Okay. So you could play around with that. Make the pirate hat wider on the sides. Sometimes I like to make it, if I want to make it exactly perfect, I can count my clicks. I go one with that one, and then hold it over here, one with this, so it's like, uniform. Now let's just do his eyes. So the eye patch, I know that the eye patch is bigger than the eye, and it's just 2 circles. Okay, so I'm just going to click this black and this circle tool. Remember, hold shift. Made a big circle there, and then I am going to make another one over here. Okay, and here is the big eye patch. And then I am going to change this back to the rectangle tool. And if you could just drag a tall rectangle, and you can take the black arrow. Now watch this. If I go by the corners, I can just kind of hover around the corner, and my mouse will change to a curved arrow. And I'm just going to kind of get it to the shape I want for this. And if it's not perfect, you could take this white arrow and click these points, and with the arrow keys on your keyboard, you could kind of nudge them around, get it the way you want. Okay, pretty good eye patch. Okay, the mouth, lots of different ways you could do it. You could just do it with the pen tool. I believe last time I did the ellipse tool, and I swapped it so it's empty, but with a black outline, and I just kind of did a mouth shape. But watch this. Okay, so this properties window, if you don't have it, go over here and look for window properties. And when you have something drawn here, this is like the pen stroke, like you could make this the line thicker by changing the number here. And if you click any of these points and push delete on your keyboard, you just make some of the points vanish. And now I'm just left with what looks a little bit like a smiley face. Now there are a lot of different ways to do this. And when I was making this last time, I noticed the one weird thing is that when you didn't have a nose, it looked really weird. So I'm going to copy and paste this. I could push Command C, Command V on my keyboard, and you'll notice copy right there. That's Command C. It says it right there, Command C, if you never really noticed that. And then edit paste, Command V right there. Okay, and then so it went over here, and then to make the nose, I'm just going to kind of change the shape of it, make it a little smaller. Okay, you can make a pointy nose, whatever. You make it off to the side, make it centered. And then I think I made a rectangle for his eyebrow. I did a little rectangle like this, and I flip-flopped it so that it's something like that, right? Okay, now, what about the color of your character? I'm not very good with colors, admittedly, so you could just do an eyedropper right on this guy if you wanted to. You can go like this and click his skin if you wanted that color. Or I copied and pasted this from the internet. I'm gonna copy it, and it was like skin tones. I just Googled skin tone colors, and then so if you select the circle that you want to fill in with color, I'm going to take this eyedropper and just go to that shade, and you'll notice I don't have an outline anymore. So I might need to, let's see what happens if I click this. Yep, there it comes back. Okay. And so I've kind of got that for my pirate so far. And then I think I just took the type tool and picked yellow for the color. Well, I'll type first MB. Well, it's really small. MB. Okay, so I'm going to highlight all that text, and you could look for the character window or the type window, or it's this thing right down here is for my text. But look through all these windows, play around with it, or it's type over here. I'm sorry, type for the character size and stuff. Am I in the wrong spot? Type orientation, window. Well, anyway, I'm going to move on. We'll just look through all the different windows and properties. You have it over here too, so I guess we could just go with this. And let's just increase this font size so we could see it. And then you could pick a color. Instead of black, we'll go with yellow or something, you know, with the gold. We're black and yellow at Mission Bay, and we'll take this and put it on the hat. You could also just enlarge it this way. I'm gonna hold shift to keep it. Okay, so we've got kind of a pirate. And then in the next tutorial, I'll cut this video here. I'll make a couple different hat options that we could play around with, and then I'll finish this off with the square. Okay, so far just, you know, pretty much messing with the circle tool, you can create a pretty decent character. Okay, make your buck and have fun. Have fun.